Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here on a Screenwriter's Rant with a new movie called Burn It All. It's pretty interesting. Female lead. I don't recognize the actress, but the premise is a woman, I'm going to assume she's a veteran because she could fight. So she goes to a funeral home, shows up late, her mother's died, and she gets a lot of flack from the funeral home and people who work there and the cops, and they're just being really terrible to her. And she can't seem to get any answers from them. They eventually end up attacking her, and because she's apparently stumbled upon some kind of deal where they steal and sell organs and burn bodies before anybody gets a chance. I'm assuming they do it to poorer people. And so she ends up fighting these guys. She gets this guy's gun. Then she finds her mom, finds the guy processing and what's happening. Then she tries to call the police. And then the police turn on her. And it's like, there's this big deal in a small town where, man, they're stealing bodies, and she is all alone. And I guess she kills the cop or shoots him or whatever. So I'm assuming she's like a vet, but she And then there's all these scenes of actors saying, "You ruined a good thing." Apparently, they're making a lot of money, and like everybody's in on it, but it's just her against all these guys, and she keeps beating them up. So this scene, she beats up a bunch of guys in a bar, I guess, and it says the best revenge is killing well. So, I guess they underestimate her because she is a woman, but she can fight, and she's like stabbing people and shooting people, and so it's a little bit. It kind of feels a little bit like Rambo. Except, not like a special forces kind of deal where he's in the woods, but, where she's like, burn it all, it's called. I think it's because they burn the bodies, like they burn all the evidence, and maybe that's a line in a movie. Man, it looks interesting. I kind of feel like I've seen the whole movie and kind of know where it goes, but, I kind of want to see the movie just to see her get her revenge, because I feel bad for the character just watching the trailer. They stole her mother's body, and maybe they even killed her, and they're taking her organs. That's not right. So it looks like a good revenge. I mean, they bill it as a thriller, but it's kind of like a good revenge movie. I know. I still get blasted for American Skin because American Skin wasn't like this, right? These guys are cartoonishly evil, whereas in American Skin, they're trying to. I think they're trying to sell it as, oh, this is justified, and the reality is, if you heard a news story about this character killing a bunch of people because they did something to her mom or whatever, you wouldn't say, "Oh, well, she got justice." You'd say, "No, she's a maniac. She killed like a bunch of people. Yeah, they were all bad too, but you know, you wouldn't want to condone that kind of behavior because every time somebody had a problem at the funeral home, the bullets would start flying." So, I get it. People deserve to have things done fairly and justice or whatever, but it doesn't always happen. And in the movies, it means certain things. In this movie, these guys are clearly cartoonishly evil, and they're clearly all against her. And it's not realistic. First off, and I'm going to say this too, and I know you don't want to hear it, but women don't have upper body strength, so it's really hard for a woman to just kick ass and take names. It's not impossible. I wouldn't want to fight, what was her name? Ronda Rousey? I think that was her name, like the MMA fighter. No, she'd probably hurt me. She'd probably smash my face in. I mean, she's you know, she was a trained fighter. But against other guys in MMA, no, she wouldn't stand a chance. Um, against the guy who had the same amount of training and roughly the same age, she'd get demolished. It's just the way it is. But that all being said, as a work of fiction, I like it. I like it. I want to see this character win. I like characters who are like kind of down on their luck. I like them because I feel for them. I feel like I can identify with a character like that, and when they win, I feel good, and the whole piece feels good to me. So, like, the first act in this is pretty clear. She's down on her luck, and her mother dies, and now I got to go to the funeral and take care of stuff, and she shows up, and she gets all this hassle, and she doesn't quite understand, and while you're watching it, you're kind of think, well, maybe a little bit's on her because she is kind of maybe she's a little bit messed up, or she's a vet, and she's not very friendly. But then it just keeps happening and happening until finally, you get that moment where she sees something or they do something and it goes too far. And it's like, whoa, what's going on here? And then she sees them doing weird stuff. And they pull a gun on her, and then she fights the guy, and she gets the gun away from him, and then she calls the cops, and then the cops are in on it. And it's just like, holy crap, how far does this go? And so, the second act is all about her figuring things out. And by the end of the second act, they're after her. She's trying to save her, well, not her mom, because her mom's dead, but to save her body and find out what happened. But along the way, these guys just keep coming and coming and coming. And then finally it culminates in the third act, which can kind of go either way. It could end with her dying and maybe ending up in the same sad position. I don't think so. I think it would end with her, beating these guys, because you'd probably want to turn this into a franchise, with this character. This character survives, but just barely, and the bad guys are thwarted, but, there's always more bad guys. There's always more greedy people who want to steal organs. So, Burn It All. I have no idea when it's coming to a theater near you, as what they used to say. It's from, looks like IUB Films or Job Films. I can't tell from this font. Starring Elizabeth Cotter. I guess that's Elizabeth Cotter in the lead role. Cinematographer, writer, director, Brady Hall. Okay. And this is, I guess it's IUB Films and Vertical Entertainment. Brady Hall looks like he did a lot of work in this movie, and it looks good. The music's good. Everything about it's really good. So, fight coordinator, Peter Drago Timon. There's going to be a lot of action when you got a fight coordinator in the main credits. So, I'll give you an upvote. Burn It All. Coming soon. Somewhere.